Hi, welcome back to the show. 15 more minutes to go. Seems like the setup will be positive this morning, but the two stocks that will be in focus are JP Associates and Ultratech Cement. Ambareesh Baliga of Edelweiss Financial Services joins in to talk about that, and Hemant Tukral is also with us to talk about the way trade may pan out. Gentlemen, good morning and thanks for being with us in the show.
Good morning.
Ambareesh, that's the first question to you. Will you buy JP Associates today?
As far as this deal is concerned, clearly it was extremely positive for Ultratech because as against their own enterprise value of, I think about $143, this was done at 124. So that way it's extremely positive for Ultratech. But standalone, is it positive for JP? Not really. But then it actually paves the way for further asset sales because I think they need to achieve 15,000 crores in FY14. So from that point of view, yes, to a certain extent positive for JP. And the way it's been beaten down in the last 6 months, yes, I think there is some more upside. So from here, it's possible that you could see JP at levels of closer to about 50-55.
Ambareesh, good morning from me as well. Will you buy Ultratech?
From a longer term perspective, I would prefer to buy a Ultratech as compared to a JP. But from a trading point of view, yes, like I said, you could have that upside in JP.
Okay. Hemant, let me get you in on this conversation. Technically, how are either of these stocks placed? Would you have a trading strategy for either of them?
Yeah, morning Lata. Lata, I would not be able to comment on Ultratech. But JP Associates very clearly, what we have seen, huge long positions were being built up. So I think a lot of people were expecting this news to take place. But yesterday what is important is the way call writers added up on 45 call. So for me, JP beyond 45-46 zone will be a tough call. So if I have been holding long positions, I would actually book profit around 45-46 and look out for an opportunity to buy back around 38-39. So I would not actually hold long positions beyond 45. I think it will also enter overbought zone if you see technically on daily charts around that 45-46 zone. So definitely if I am holding long, I would book profits moment I reach 46-45 levels.
Okay, so that's three of you saying that today JP may see profit taking rather than buying. Anuj told us that, and now Hemant and Ambareesh also not really gung-ho on JP Associates at this moment. Okay, Ambareesh, firstly on the markets itself, yesterday's rally was a bit unexpected, and midday through trade we actually thought we will see bouts of profit taking. We even saw 5835. What's the sense today? Will it be difficult to hold out for yet another day for the bulls?
In fact, the rally in the past couple of days was quite unexpected. You never really expected a 600-700 point sort of a rally from those lower levels, and I think it's caught number of the market players on the wrong foot, no doubt. And because of that, you also had short covering, which actually added to the momentum. But yes, I think the momentum is still there, and with the way the expectations are actually building up on the Fed policy as well as our own monetary policy, I think it can hold on for a while longer. But the issue is that in case there is any sort of adverse news, even the reaction could be as sharp. So we need to remember that volatility is there to stay, and this volatility is not going to be a small sort of a volatility, but we have seen this volatility actually taking the markets up 600-700 points in no time. And at the same time, we have also seen the way the markets have cracked in the recent past. So I would still stick to my earlier recommendation that yes, I think you need to hold some cash in your portfolio, because over the next couple of months you'll get a lot of opportunities to in fact buy at much better levels than where we are right now.
Hemant, what about you? You are long on the Nifty today. How much would you move your stop loss higher now, and what is the next target that you're watching for on the index itself?
See, Sonia, very clearly the way I see the data, I still see the market is indicating towards bullish signals, because the way put writers are building confidence, it's clearly suggesting that the market it's a very clear signals of euphoria. What we were seeing like last month, call writers were keep on building positions. So now it's the chance of put writers. Yesterday we have even seen 5,900 put writers building positions. So for me, for positional traders, I think stop loss should be kept as 58.50 for the long positions in Nifty, and they should continue to build on. And I have a feeling that we may retest even 6050 on the upside, though 6000 call has the highest open interest. But even if you check the way the open interest in puts is added up, the 44 lakh doesn't seems to be a big open interest in 6000 call at all. So I think still there is lot of circumspect in the call writers whether to add at 6000 or not. So I have a feeling that we may even surpass that psychological figure of 6000, and my target for Nifty would be 6050. Around those levels I would definitely like to book some profit. So for now I would continue to hold to long positions.
Okay, Hemant, any strategies on any of the PSU banks? I mean, Bank of Baroda stood out yesterday, so did PNB. Any strategies on any of them?
See, Lata, yesterday the major thing to see was the participation from PSU Bank, and it was a broad-based rally. Bank of Baroda, PNB, we all know these are big names, but the way the open interest has been added up on the smaller names like Dena Bank, Vijaya Bank, Union Bank, but I would specially recommend something like a Canara Bank, which saw 29% open interest being built up. Interestingly, the cash volumes or the delivery based volumes were 4 times than its 5 days average. So clearly telling that some buying has happened. It has managed to cross that 215, 216 mark technically, which was acting as a small resistance point for it. So it's opened the gate towards that 236, 240 mark. So I would really recommend people to go long. Now 215 should be acting as a support, which was previous resistance. So that would be my stop loss level, and target of 236 to 240 in next 3 to 4 trading sessions I think Canara Bank should achieve.
Ambareesh, what about you? How are you approaching some of these banks? Because you get a left out feeling, when you see stocks like Axis Bank recovering from 780 to about 1000, ICICI Bank, similar case for that stock as well. Do you think you should be putting in money, or would you still exercise caution in the banking space?
I mean, especially when there is a euphoria like situation on the street, what we have seen in the past few days, I think this left out feeling is the most dangerous feeling any investor should get, because that actually makes you get into the market at more or less the highs, and people have got caught in the past doing this. So my suggestion would be just to hold back for a while, because any sort of adverse news in the near future can actually crack the markets. So it doesn't really make sense getting into the markets right now after this sort of a move which you have seen. And especially as far as banks are concerned, I think those issues are still there as far as NPAs are concerned, which is still expected to rise going ahead. And again, unless the economy improves, you don't expect the credit hike happening. So looking at both these issues, I don't think it's still the right time to get into banks.
Okay, I just had a follow-up question on Ultratech Cement, Ambareesh. The stock has moved up quite sharply, perhaps factoring in this news. I mean, it's moved from 1400 to 1700 plus in the month of September alone. How much would you give it in the very immediate term?
Immediate term, I don't think you'll see a major move from here, because it's already moved up decently well. But like I said, from an investment point of view, I think one can still hold on or maybe buy on dips, because other than Ambuja, I think this is the other stock which is going to perform. Assuming that the cement sector overall performs over the next 1.5 to 2 years.
All right, lots more stocks for both of you gentlemen. We have to take a break. We'll also come back with the pre-opening rates in a minute when we come out of the break.
MCX Stock Exchange, India's new stock exchange, presents Bazaar Morning Call.
Hi, welcome back to the show. 2 more minutes and we'll get the pre-opening rates on the screen. Yesterday, the mid-cap index had a much better session, so let's get a couple of strategies out of the way. Hemant, the entire infrastructure pocket had a strong run yesterday. Names like IRB were up about 10-15%. GMR Infra did well. Would you recommend anything there for a trade today?
See, for me now the mid-cap rally has actually started, very frankly, because it was large caps which surprised. Now it's a clear-cut signal that market may consolidate the large caps and the mid caps should move up. And we all know that these are momentum stocks, whether it's an IRB or GMR. So GMR, I am looking at a target around 1950 to 1975, but I would keep a strict stop loss of 1680 to 17 zone, because very clearly that's a resistance which GMR has crossed, and these are high momentum stocks. Similarly, something like a Punj Lloyd, I would also look at that. The way the open interest added up yesterday, I would have a target of 34 on it, but I would keep a very strict stop loss around 23 to 2350. So yes, we can trade on the positive side, but do keep a strict stop loss, because whenever Nifty will start to come off, they will be the first ones to come down.
Okay, Ambareesh, I guess we have a minute more before the pre-opening rates come in. Mid-caps are actually now outperforming, especially yesterday. Some stocks in the news, Walcott has been doing reasonably well. United Spirits now gets, it's start of a new era over there. Tata Global Beverages has been doing very well. Anything in the mid-cap space that catches the eye where you will go despite of skepticism on the indices?
I think more than the mid-cap space, there's another space where I think we could have a decent rally, which is basically the oil marketing companies, and which have been ignored for a while. And we have seen a decent crack in the last 2.5, 3 months. And despite the rupee appreciating, despite the oil prices correcting, we have not seen a good rally in these stocks in the last couple of days. So I think, this is one space where you could see a decent rally over the next few days. I would surely recommend something like a HPCL at these levels, because from the bottom is just, I think, moved up about 15-20 rupees. So I think at these levels one can buy at about 190.
Hemant, you have a strategy on sale. Quickly take us through that.
Yes, this is one more area, metal stocks which are refusing to go down. Actually, they have seen the consolidations and they have started moving up. And yesterday, both Tata Steel and SAIL have seen fresh open interest. But SAIL especially, it has seen a 12% open interest built up. Weekly resistance, it's crossed that 49.
All right, the pre-opening rates are here. Okay, Nifty is opening mildly in the green, just about. No, it's sorry, 2.5%. I thought it would be 2 points. But this is, okay, a slightly unbelievable, incredulous opening. Sensex also is actually indicating a 1% higher. So, I mean, maybe there are more people, more bulls out there than in the studio. 1.8% higher on the Nifty. Even now, we started with a 2.5% higher Nifty. So, 6,050 bang in the first pre-opening rate. But now, 6,010 is what it is indicating. Even that, I guess, the bulls will take with both hands. But Sensex is now showing actually a negative pre-opening rate, a 0.25% cut or 47-point dip. So a little away from that 20,000 mark. That's interesting. We are getting a bit of a mixed cue, so perhaps we have to wait for the market to settle down somewhat. JP Associates starting with a 9.9% uptick after that deal, but our experts were a bit skeptical on the fact that they might see profit taking. ACC, so there's, okay, the friendly neighborhood is spreading, 9.5% uptick seen on ACC. IDFC 7.3%. M&M is expected to start 5% higher. Bharti Airtel pre-opening rates 4.5% higher. HCL Tech 5% higher. Cade India 3.8%. Sesa Goa 3.5%. There were some news reports that they might start mining in Liberia by the year end. Ultratech Cement, that's the other stock I should be watching out for. That one is the pre-opening rates indicating 3.5% uptick. I thought I saw a 3% uptick on Axis as well. The two Jindal Steel stocks, Jindal Steel and Power 2.9%, JSW Steel 1.8%. I mean, this is green all over. Anything red, ACC now in the red.
Yeah, it's interesting actually.
So it was just a momentary blip. Now it is flat. Now it is in the green. So I think the pre-opening rates are just all over the place. Not worth concentrating. HDFC is in the red. But I doubt we should concentrate now. Maybe we come back to it after 4-5 minutes.
Yeah, as they generally are. The pre-opening rates are very bizarre. But the rupee opening is good. It's been a slow and steady appreciation, and that's what we're seeing today as well. 63.20. So a slight appreciation compared to the 63.40 level that we closed at yesterday. And it's been what, a sixth straight session of an up move, taking into account today as well.
The point is, on just one day, if I remember right, I think it was August 16th. In one day, the rupee went from 62.20 or thereabouts, or 62.5, all the way to 63.80. So once 63.80 got pierced, there is technically no resistance level all the way to 62.5. So that terrain might cross pretty quickly is the expectation in the market, because it was crossed all in a few hours on the morning of August 16th.
Okay, so perhaps there could be some more. For now, it has a positive bias. On the losing end today, actually, some banks, so HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank is lower. Sesa Goa is a tad bit lower as well, down about 0.6%. And something like Reliance Infra and NTPC are at the losing end. Now, this is a more believable rate. The Nifty 5950 up about 0.6%, and it is clearly JP Associates that is going to be the big winner in trade today. Rakesh Arora of Macquarie will be with us in just a while from now. But before that, Sudarshan, let me just come to you. It seems like we'll start at that 59.40 level on the index. Will you take a fresh long position at the start of trade, or would you now begin to exercise caution?
No, it's a good day for intraday trading, and after many days I'm using this word for the last 2 days. I would be a willing buyer today in the Nifty and in the Bank Nifty both. Wait for the first 15-20 minutes and then buy a breakout of the morning range. This is a strategy I have discussed many times, so traders should be aware of it. Which means we want to see that the morning range starts moving on the upside, and then I would be expecting some money on the bull side. So yes, and the second trade is an intraday dip during the day. In both cases, I would be looking to buy.
Okay. Sudarshan, any specific stocks where you can advise a strategy, especially in the banking space?
Well, in banks, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank are both attractive opportunities. Same procedure. We just don't want to, Lata, only amateurs go and trade at the open.
Okay.
So we let there be a cooling off period of 10-15 minutes. After that, if the markets continue to exhibit strength, then intraday trading begins. It's not in the first 15 minutes ever. So I would be a buyer in ICICI and HDFC Bank both. And there is another stock that looks interesting for today, and that's ITC. IT has seen a dramatic rally, a mild pause yesterday, and probably a renewal is on the cards.
What about JP Associates, Sudarshan? I mean, fundamental analysts believe that there could be a lot more to go because of the developments, but purely for today, would you trade it?
No, I would not. I've never been a fan of trading mid-cap stocks, such highly speculative stocks. It's much easier to make money with quality than it is with, anything else.
Okay. Does IDFC interest you at all? Would you have a strategy?
It does. Yeah, but it's not an intraday strategy. IDFC is not yet at a point where volatility is enough to justify intraday trading. But if you are wanting to build a position, IDFC is probably perfectly poised for that. If you are an investor, consider buying it and holding. Give it a year, 2 years. If you are a short-term trader, at current levels, there is more upside here.
All right, Sudarshan, thanks for joining us and taking us through the pre-opening rate, which, by the way, has settled at a believable 22 points higher, so marginally higher for the index this morning. Sensex will hold on to 20,000, and the big move may come in on some of the cement names. To
Still
be precise,
an undecided
JP
market,
Associates.
though, because the Nifty percentage-wise is up about 2/3%. Sensex is flat, so quite clearly market's not made up its mind.
Okay, let's go across to our next guest, Rakesh Arora from Macquarie Capital.